Gratitude is the very first thing you should practice the moment you open your eyes, before the world rushes in, before the thoughts of yesterday and the worries of tomorrow come to disturb you. There is a short moment where you are simply alive. That moment is pure. And in that moment, you must teach yourself to recognize the gift. You woke up, your lungs are breathing, your heart is beating, and your eyes open to a new day. This in itself is already a victory, but too often it goes unnoticed. Gratitude is not about saying thank you with words. It is about realizing the preciousness of what is already here. If you can remind yourself each morning that life is not owed to you, then every small detail starts to shine differently. The air you breathe feels lighter. The first sip of water tastes richer. Even the silence of the early morning becomes meaningful. But if you forget to be grateful, then you start the day empty, waiting for things outside of you to fill the void. And that is the mistake many people make. They expect happiness to come from the outside when it was meant to grow from the inside. Gratitude is that seed. When you practice it every morning, you create a shield around your mind. The problems that used to disturb you lose some of their weight. The tasks that seemed unbearable start to look possible. Why? Because when you begin with gratitude, your perspective shifts. You stop saying, I have to do this, and instead you think, I get to do this. That change of one word alters everything. To get to live, to get to work, to get to face challenges, these are privileges of being alive. And the one who forgets this truth suffers unnecessarily, while the one who remembers carries strength in silence. Think about how many people went to sleep last night and never woke up. Think about how many people are lying in hospitals praying for just one more day of health. Think about how many are struggling to breathe, struggling to stand, struggling to see the sun. And yet, here you are. Your eyes are open, your body is moving, and your mind is still capable of learning. Gratitude reminds you that you are already richer than you realize. It humbles you, but it also empowers you. Every morning when you open your eyes, pause. Do not rush to the phone. Do not rush to the noise. Do not rush to what the world demands of you. Pause. Feel your body. Feel the breath entering your lungs. Feel the stillness before the storm of the day begins. In that pause, say to yourself, this day is mine. This life is mine. I will use it well. This is not superstition. This is not a ritual. It is discipline. The discipline of training your mind to focus on what is already good instead of drowning in what is missing. Gratitude is a weapon. It cuts through negativity, it silences complaint, and it destroys the illusion that life is not enough. Because the truth is, life has already given you everything. You are alive, you are breathing, you are here. And with that, you have the power to create, to move, to change, to transform. The moment you forget this, you become weak. The moment you remember, you become unstoppable. There will be mornings when you don't feel like being grateful, when life is heavy, when disappointments crush your chest, when problems scream louder than silence. And yet, those mornings are the most important. Gratitude in easy times is natural, but gratitude in difficult times is strength. To look at a storm and still whisper, I am thankful, that is the mark of a warrior. It does not mean you ignore your pain. It means you refuse to let pain blind you from the gift of being alive. So train yourself. Do not wait for life to teach you this lesson through loss. Practice gratitude now every morning until it becomes a natural state of mind. And you will notice the change. Small things will no longer irritate you as they used to. Opportunities will appear where before you saw only obstacles. People will feel your energy because gratitude creates a presence that cannot be faked. It radiates from you because it is real. Every morning, begin with this: thank you. Thank you for the breath. Thank you for the body. Thank you for the chance to rise again. These simple words are not empty. They are a command to your mind, a reminder to your heart, and a declaration to life itself that you are ready to live. And when you carry that gratitude into the day, everything changes. This is how you should begin. not with noise, not with complaint, not with distraction. Begin with gratitude. Begin with awareness. Begin with the understanding that life is fragile, but today it is yours. Use it with strength. Use it with clarity. Use it with purpose. That is the true power of telling yourself every morning, be grateful because you are alive. Strength is not something you are given. It is something you declare to yourself every single morning. The world outside will always try to test you. Situations will bend you and people will doubt you, and sometimes even you will doubt yourself. But the very first voice you hear each day must be your own. And that voice must be firm. It must remind you of who you are. You are not weak. You are not helpless. You are not meant to live on your knees. You are capable. You are resilient. You are built to face life as it comes. The truth is, life will not wait for you to feel ready. It will throw challenges at you whether you want them or not. If you begin your day telling yourself that you are strong, you are preparing your mind before the storms arrive. You are training your spirit to stand tall when everything else tells you to fall. And this strength is not about muscle, not about appearance, not about pretending to be unbreakable. Real strength is in the way you rise after falling, the way you speak to yourself when no one is listening, the way you keep moving forward when your legs want to stop. If you start your morning with weakness in your thoughts, weakness will control your day. You will see problems as bigger than they are. You will hesitate when decisions need to be made. You will shrink when life asks you to expand. But when you begin with strength, something changes. You look at the same problem, but instead of saying, I can't, you say, I will. That small difference in thought changes your entire reality. Strength is a choice. Every single day, you choose to see yourself as someone who can or someone who cannot. You choose to surrender or to fight. And this choice begins in the morning, in the first words you say to yourself. Say to yourself, I am capable. Say, I will not break. Say, I am stronger than I was yesterday. These are not empty affirmations. They are comments. They remind your mind that no matter what happens, you are built to endure. But do not mistake this strength as arrogance. To tell yourself you are strong is not to deny your fears, your doubts, your weaknesses. It is to acknowledge them and yet refuse to be ruled by them. Everyone has fear. Everyone has insecurity. But strength is the decision to face them, not to run. To walk into uncertainty, not because you know you will win, but because you trust yourself enough to try. There will be days when life will test you harder than you think you can handle. You will lose people. You will fail in attempts. You will fall short of expectations. Those are the days when most surrender. But if you have trained your mind every morning to affirm your strength, you will respond differently. Instead of saying, why me? You will say, test me. Instead of giving in to despair, you will rise with fire in your eyes. That is the power of telling yourself each day, I am strong. Understand this clearly. Strength is not something that appears in the moment you need it. Strength is something you cultivate long before. Just like a warrior trains before battle, you must prepare before life's challenges. And that preparation begins in your morning. With your own words, you sharpen your weapon. With your own words, you armor your spirit. If you neglect this, then when the challenges arrive, you will be unprepared. But if you remind yourself every day of your strength, then even when life strikes hard, you will not collapse. You must see yourself as capable of enduring more than you think. The limits you believe in are mostly illusions. You think you cannot go further, and yet when life forces you, you find that you can. That hidden power has always been there, but it only reveals itself when you decide to trust yourself. The words you tell yourself in the morning unlock that power. They awaken something deep inside, something that refuses to give up. Do not wait for someone else to remind you of your strength. Do not wait for compliments, for support, for encouragement. You must be your own source. The world will not always tell you that you are strong. Sometimes it will tell you the opposite. but your own voice must be louder. When everything else says, you cannot, your mind must answer, watch me. Every morning you must look at yourself and say, I am not weak. I am not broken. I am capable of carrying what life gives me. I am capable of more than I imagine. These words may feel small, but they carry the weight of transformation. Over time, they carve into your mind a new belief, and belief is where all action begins. You will not always feel strong. You will have moments of doubt, moments of exhaustion, moments of fear. But strength is not about what you feel. It is about what you choose. And every morning you have that choice to choose weakness or to choose strength, to choose fear or to choose courage, to choose to bow or to choose to rise. Tell yourself you are strong. Say it until you believe it. Say it until you live it. Say it until no force in this world can convince you otherwise. And when life comes to test you, as it always will, you will not be shaken. You will stand. You will face it. You will endure. Because you decided long before you are strong. Growth is the law of life. Nothing that stays still survives for long. The tree that refuses to stretch toward the sun withers. The river that stops flowing becomes stagnant. The body that stops moving becomes weak. The same is true for your mind, your spirit, your entire being. Every morning you must remind yourself, I am here to grow, not to remain the same, not to repeat yesterday endlessly, but to expand, to learn, to become more than I was. The mistake many people make is believing growth is automatic. They think just because time passes, they will become wiser, stronger, better. But time alone changes nothing. A year can pass and you may still be exactly the same if you refuse to grow. Growth is not given, it is taken. It is chosen. You must choose every morning to step beyond what is comfortable. Growth often hides in discomfort. The things you avoid, the things you fear, the things you keep postponing, those are the very places where your growth waits for you. If you always stay where you feel safe, you cannot expect transformation. Safety keeps you in place, but growth demands movement. To grow means to face what is uncertain, to do what feels heavy, to try what you have never done before. And yes, you will stumble, you will fail, you will fall. But even in failure, growth is happening because every mistake teaches, every setback sharpens, every difficulty prepares you. When you remind yourself each morning to focus on growth, you stop running in circles. You stop measuring your life only by comfort, by routine, by how easy the day feels. Instead, you begin asking, what can I learn today? How can I improve? What new part of myself can I unlock? That single shift in perspective changes how you face the day. Challenges become opportunities, struggles become lessons, obstacles become training. Nothing is wasted when your mind is set on growth. The truth is, growth rarely feels good in the moment. It is painful to stretch muscles that have been unused. It is uncomfortable to silence habits that have controlled you for years. It is difficult to face truths about yourself that you would rather ignore. But this is exactly why growth is powerful. It requires strength. It requires awareness. It requires you to rise above laziness and excuses. Most people avoid this. They choose comfort and call it happiness. They settle. And because they settle, they remain the same year after year. The same complaints, the same regrets, the same life. You must not allow this for yourself. You must demand more. You must look in the mirror and refuse to accept being the same as yesterday. Even a small step forward is growth, learning one new thing, breaking one small bad habit, improving in one small way. These are victories. Growth is not about becoming perfect overnight. Growth is about progress. It is about never allowing yourself to stop evolving. There is a quiet strength in someone who grows each day. Others can feel it without words. It shows in how you carry yourself, in how you respond, in how you handle what others fear. Growth builds confidence, not the false kind that depends on appearance or praise, but the real kind that comes from knowing you are not the same as you once were. That confidence cannot be taken away because it is earned, but growth demands honesty. You must be willing to see where you are lacking. You must admit to yourself where you have been lazy, where you have been hiding, where you have allowed weakness to rule. This is not easy, but only when you face your own truth can you begin to rise. Pretending to grow is easy. Truly growing is rare because it requires facing yourself. Each morning, tell yourself, I will grow. Tell yourself, I will learn. Tell yourself, I will not waste this day repeating the same mistake. These words plant a seed in your mind. They set a direction. And when your day becomes difficult, that seed will remind you this struggle is not meaningless, it is growth. You may not enjoy it now, but you will be grateful for it later. Remember, everything alive grows, and you are alive. That means you are meant to expand, to evolve, to become. Do not betray this natural law by remaining still. Do not let fear chain you. Do not let comfort trap you. Growth is your duty to yourself, because when you grow, you not only change your life, you change everyone around you. You become an example, a source of strength, a reminder to others that they can rise. So begin your day with this truth. Growth is not optional. Growth is necessary. Each morning, choose to push yourself beyond yesterday. Choose to take even the smallest step forward. Choose to learn, to change, to transform. And when you look back after many mornings of choosing growth, you will see how far you have come. You will realize that the person you were is gone, and in their place stands someone stronger, wiser, unrecognizable from the past. That is the reward of growth. Not comfort, not ease, not safety, transformation. Every morning, remind yourself, I will grow. Peace is not something you find outside of yourself. It is something you create within. Each morning when you wake, the mind wants to run. It wants to chase the noise of yesterday, the demands of today, the worries of tomorrow. If you let it, it will pull you in every direction before you even stand up. That is why you must remind yourself calmness is my strength. Without inner peace, you are a slave to chaos. With inner peace, you become unshakable. The world is full of noise, opinions, distractions, problems, responsibilities. They all compete for your attention. And if you do not learn to control your own mind, they will control it for you. Peace does not mean escaping from life. It means entering life with clarity. It means standing in the middle of the storm, but keeping your center untouched. That ability must be trained every day. When you wake up, do not rush. Do not throw yourself immediately into the chaos. Pause, breathe, feel the silence of the morning. That silence is a teacher. It shows you that calmness is always available. You only need to step back from the noise to find it. The truth is, the noise never ends. If you wait for life to become quiet, you will wait forever. Instead, you must bring the quiet with you. A peaceful mind is a powerful mind. When you are calm, you see more clearly. Decisions are no longer rushed, reactions no longer blind. Anger loses its grip, fear loses its weight. Peace does not make you weak, it makes you precise. In battle, the warrior who panics, but the one who remains calm sees every opening, every mistake, every chance. The same is true in daily life. The one who remains calm cannot be easily broken. Inner peace also protects your energy. Without it, you are exhausted by every small irritation, every small problem, every negative person. But with peace, these things cannot touch you. Someone may try to provoke you, but you do not bend. A challenge may appear, but you do not collapse, because you carry a stillness inside that nothing outside can disturb. This is real power, but peace is not given to you. It is not a gift waiting outside. It must be built piece by piece through discipline. It is built by watching your own thoughts instead of blindly following them. It is built by controlling your breath when emotions want to control you. It is built by choosing silence when anger tempts you to speak. Every morning is an opportunity to strengthen this discipline. Do not believe the lie that stress is normal, that constant rushing is success, that chaos is just the way life must be. These are illusions. Stress is the enemy of growth. Chaos is the enemy of clarity. If you live every day in this state, you lose yourself long before you lose the battle. That is why peace must be your foundation. From peace comes focus. From peace comes strength. From peace comes wisdom. There will always be problems. You cannot control everything, but you can always control your state of mind. And the one who controls their mind controls their life. That is why every morning you must tell yourself, I will not let the world decide my peace. I will not give control of my emotions to circumstances. I will remain calm no matter what the day brings. This does not mean you will never feel anger, never feel fear, never feel stress. These emotions will come. But peace means you do not become them. You feel them and then you let them pass. Like clouds moving across the sky, they do not last. What remains is the stillness beneath the sky itself untouched. That stillness is you. Train yourself to return to it every day. When the noise rises, return to silence. When fear appears, return to breath. When anger burns, return to stillness. It will not happen in one day, but with practice, you will find yourself changing. People around you will notice. They will wonder why nothing seems to disturb you, why you carry yourself with such balance. The answer is simply you have chosen peace. And in choosing peace, you are free. Free from the control of others, free from the chaos of the world, free from the prison of your own uncontrolled thoughts. This freedom allows you to live with strength, to grow without distraction, to face life without being consumed by it. So each morning when you rise, remind yourself of this calmness is my strength, peace is my weapon, clarity is my guide. Carry that truth with you, and no matter how loud the world becomes, inside you there will always be silence. And from that silence, you will draw a power that cannot be broken. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. Every morning you must remind yourself that nothing is built in one day, but everything is built by what you do every day. Consistency is the secret. Not intensity, not motivation that comes and goes, but discipline. The choice to do what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. This is the path of strength. Most people wait for motivation, but motivation is unreliable. Some mornings you will wake up inspired. Other mornings you will feel heavy, tired, empty. If you depend on motivation, you will never build anything lasting. But discipline does not care about feelings. Discipline acts even when the body is tired, even when the mind resists. Discipline keeps moving forward when every excuse tells you to stop. Every great transformation in life comes from small, consistent actions. The body is trained one repetition at a time. Knowledge is built one page at a time. Peace is created one breath at a time. Success is shaped one decision at a time. Nothing appears suddenly. It is the result of what you repeat. That is why discipline is the highest form of self-respect. It is proof that you value your future more than your comfort. But do not confuse discipline with punishment. It is not about making life harsh. It is about making life meaningful. Without discipline, your potential remains wasted. Without discipline, your dreams remain fantasies. Without discipline, your mind becomes weak and your spirit restless. Comfort may feel good for a moment, but in the end, it leaves you empty. Discipline feels heavy in the moment, but in the end, it leaves you strong. Each morning, you are faced with choices. Do you rise or do you delay? Do you follow your plan or do you give in to distraction? Do you live with intention or do you let the day control you? Discipline is the voice inside that answers those questions with action. It is the reminder that you are in control, not your laziness, not your fear, not your excuses. Consistency is what separates those who succeed from those who fail. Anyone can work hard for a day. Anyone can commit for a week. But the one who keeps showing up day after day, even when the results are invisible, that is the one who becomes unstoppable. Discipline is not glamorous. It is not loud. It is quiet repetition. And yet it is this repetition that builds greatness. Understand this. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you grow stronger. Every time you break it, you weaken. Self-trust is built by discipline. When you say, I will do this, and you actually do it, your mind learns to respect you. That respect becomes confidence, and that confidence becomes power. Without discipline, you lose trust in yourself. You say you will change, but you do not. You say you will begin, but you delay. Over time, your own mind stops believing you. That is why discipline is non-negotiable. It is the foundation of belief in yourself. There will be days when you are tired, days when progress feels invisible, days when you wonder if it is worth it. These are the days that test you. These are the days when discipline must speak louder than doubt. Remember, results are never immediate. Seeds take time to grow, rivers take time to carve through stone, transformation takes time to appear. But if you stop, you break the process. If you remain consistent, the result is inevitable. Each morning, tell yourself, I will stay disciplined. Not just today, not just when it feels easy, but always. Discipline is not about perfection, it is about persistence. If you stumble, return. If you fail, return. If you stop, begin again. The key is never to abandon the path completely. The ones who win are not the ones who never fall, but the ones who rise again and again without surrender. Discipline also frees you. Many think it is a restriction, but in truth, it is liberation. Without discipline, you are a prisoner of impulses, cravings, laziness, distractions. With discipline, you are free, free to choose, free to create, free to control your life instead of being controlled by it. Discipline gives you structure, and within that structure, you find strength. Do not underestimate the power of small daily habits. Waking up on time, moving your body, focusing your mind, honoring your commitments. These build a life of strength. Do not look for shortcuts. Do not chase quick results. Instead, focus on building a rhythm so strong that discipline becomes your nature. At first, it feels forced, but with time, it becomes effortless. What once required willpower becomes automatic. That is the reward of consistency. So each morning, remind yourself of this truth. Success is not built in one moment, but in every moment. Discipline is not something you practice when you feel good. It is something you practice no matter how you feel. And consistency is the silent force that will carry you further than talent, luck, or circumstance ever could. Rise with discipline, act with discipline, end the day with discipline. Repeat it again tomorrow. This is how transformation is created, not in grand gestures, but in quiet repetition, in unshakable consistency, in the daily choice to honor your path. This is the power of discipline. This is the strength of consistency. Carry it with you every morning, and there will be nothing you cannot build. Every morning you must see yourself not only as you are, but as you are becoming. The mind has a unique power. It can create the future before it happens. It can paint pictures of who you want to be, where you want to go, what you want to achieve. And when you hold these pictures clearly, when you believe in them deeply, your actions begin to align with them. This is the power of visualization. To wake each morning and see your success as if it already exists. Most people live only by memory. They wake up and replay yesterday, carrying the same fears, the same failures, the same doubts. They repeat the same story again and again, and then they wonder why nothing changes. But if you want growth, you must live by vision, not by memory. Memory ties you to the past. Vision pulls you into the future. Each morning, you must choose vision. Close your eyes and see it, the strength you want to build, the peace you want to carry, the life you want to create. Do not see it as distant. See it as here. Feel it as if it already belongs to you. The mind cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. When you visualize with clarity your body, your emotions, your spirit begin to move in that direction. It is not magic, it is focus. And focus creates reality. But visualization is not about daydreaming. It is not about wishing without action. It is about planting a clear picture so that your actions have direction. A ship without a destination drifts forever. A mind without vision wastes its energy on distractions. But when you know exactly what you are moving toward, every step has meaning. You no longer wander, you advance. Every morning when you see your success, you remind yourself why you must endure, why you must be disciplined, why you must grow. Because the vision is greater than the struggle. Without a vision, discipline feels like punishment. With a vision, discipline feels like purpose. Without a vision, failure feels like the end. With a vision, failure feels like a lesson. Everything changes when your eyes are fixed on where you are going. Your vision must be sharp. Do not just say, I want to be successful. That is vague, and the vague mind creates vague results. Picture it clearly. What does success look like for you? How do you stand? How do you speak? What does your day look like? What habits shape your life? The more detailed your vision, the stronger its pull. Every morning, replay it until it becomes natural, until your mind knows exactly where you are heading. There will be days when doubt clouds your vision, days when the path feels too long, too heavy, too unclear. These are the moments where visualization becomes even more powerful. When the present feels dark, you must look into the future with even greater clarity. See the light ahead. See the strength you are becoming. See the life you are creating. That vision will carry you through the shadows. Remember, the mind follows the images you feed it. If you feed it fear, it creates fear. If you feed it doubt, it creates limitation. But if you feed it vision, it creates strength. Each morning, you are the one choosing what to feed your mind. Choose carefully. Do not give it weakness. Give it the future you desire. The greatest mistake is to think small, to only imagine a life of comfort, of survival, of just enough. You were not meant for smallness. You were meant for expansion. Your vision should scare you because fear is the proof that is bigger than your current self. That is exactly why you must pursue it. Growth comes only when you move beyond what feels safe. And visualization is the key. It shows you the version of yourself that is waiting to be born. When you carry your vision in your mind every morning, you live differently. You walk with confidence because you know where you are heading. You work with focus because every action is tied to your future. You endure setbacks with strength because you see beyond them. Others will look at you and not understand why you are so calm, why you are so determined. It is because you see what they cannot. So remind yourself every morning, I see my success, I see my strength, I see my future. Hold that vision until it becomes so real in your mind that you can no longer deny it in your actions. Let it guide you, let it fuel you, let it shape the way you live. Do not wait for the future to surprise you. Create it every morning with the images you allow your mind to hold. One day, you will wake up and realize the vision you once imagined is the life you are now living. And it will not have happened by accident. It will have happened because every morning you chose to see it, to believe it, to move toward it. That is the power of visualization. That is the power of choosing your future before it arrives.